Mount Rinjani, one of Indonesia's most breathtaking volcanoes. Towering over the island of Lombok, its crater lake and smoking rim draw thousands of hikers every year. But behind its beauty lies unforgiving terrain, and sometimes tragedy. This is the story of Juliana Marins, a spirited traveler from Brazil whose dreams and footsteps led her to this distant mountain. She came in search of adventure, but Rinjani had something else waiting for her. Juliana Marins was 26, a young woman filled with curiosity, warmth, and the kind of courage that most people only dream about. She was traveling solo through Southeast Asia, documenting her journey on Instagram for a modest but devoted following. Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, each stop filled with color, culture, and experiences she'd capture in heartfelt posts. There was an almost poetic rhythm in the way she wrote. One of her posts read, "Solo doesn't mean alone. It means freedom, and I've never felt more alive." Her journey finally brought her to Indonesia in June 2025, specifically to Mount Rinjani, an active volcano known for its spectacular sunrise views and soul-challenging treks. It was her final destination before heading home, a celebration of everything she had faced and conquered. On June 22nd, Juliana joined a group hike led by an experienced local guide. It was a popular route, from Sembalun village to the crater rim, usually a 2-day journey. That morning, Juliana was in high spirits. Fellow hikers recalled her laughter, her fascination with the changing forest sounds, and how she paused often, not out of fatigue, but to absorb the view. She made it to the rim that afternoon, over 2,600 meters above sea level. There she posed for one last photograph, wind in her hair, arms wide, a smile carved with joy and awe. But minutes later, something went wrong. Witnesses say Juliana walked toward the edge, perhaps for a better view. It's unclear if the soil gave way or if she lost her footing. What is known is that she fell, nearly 600 meters down, into a deep ravine lined with volcanic rock and thick undergrowth. At first, no one knew if she had survived, but then, voices. Some hikers claimed they heard her shouting faintly from the depths. Others reported seeing a flickering light, maybe her flashlight used as a signal, but reaching her wasn't easy. The terrain was brutal and weather conditions began to worsen. The sun dipped behind the crater walls, and the temperature fell. Rescue teams were dispatched, but it would be 4 full days before her body was located. It was technology, a thermal drone, that finally helped pinpoint her position. Juliana was found curled near a rock ledge. Her body was intact, suggesting she may have survived the initial fall, only to succumb later to her injuries or the elements. For her family, back home in Brazil, the weight was unbearable, and when the news broke, grief turned to outrage. Juliana's family accused the authorities of responding too slowly. They believed the initial delay, nearly 18 hours before a proper search began, might have cost her life. In interviews, her sister said, "She was alive down there. We know it. They heard her and they waited. She didn't deserve that ending." The Indonesian authorities defended the rescue operation, citing challenging terrain and unpredictable weather. Still, the tragedy sparked conversations across Brazil and Southeast Asia about hiking safety, emergency preparedness, and the growing risks solo travelers often face. Juliana's story isn't just about her fall. It's about her flight, her daring heart that led her far from home, into the embrace of the wild world. She wasn't reckless or naive, she was brave. In her final post before the climb, she had written, "This mountain has been calling me for years. Tomorrow, I answer." And in a way, she did. Today, hikers still trek the slopes of Rinjani. Some may know her story, others won't. But the wind that whispers through its ridges carries her memory, a reminder of beauty, fragility, and the dreams we chase when we follow the road less traveled.